Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And it's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center. And here's the man that will bring you all that has happened on NXT, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1334. How's it going, everybody? We're going to talk about the NXT fallout from Stand and Deliver. Now, usually the Raw after WrestleMania gets pretty wild. Now it seems like NXT Stand and Deliver seems to head that way. And the NXT after Stand and Deliver seems to be heading that way. Because you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show up. Some surprises, debuts, and everything else, and how things are going. So we're going to talk about NXT. Roxanne Perez, the new NXT Women's Champion, kicked off NXT, addresses being the NXT Women's Champion. Lana Valkyria, in her arm in a sling, interrupts Roxanne Perez, decided to challenge Roxanne Perez for a rematch for that title. But then Roxanne Perez, you're not medically clear, your arm's in a sling. But then Tatum Paxley, decided, well, if Lyra is not medically ready, I am. But then, Lyra Valkyria says, I appreciate what you're doing, but I got to do this on my own and all that good stuff. And then Tatum Paxley goes around and attacks Lyra Valkyria. It seems like Tatum Paxley's shown her true colors, and it seems like when Lyra Valkyria does recover from her arm injury, I do believe that Tatum Paxley is going to pay a heavy, heavy price. And you know what? And Lyra Valkyria is going to beat the stuffing. Is going to beat the stuffing out of Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley going to learn. Then Natalya interrupts Perez and challenges her for a women's title matchup, and then Roxanne Perez, you know what? I call the shots. But then Ava goes, no. I call the shots, and Ava's make that match for the women's championship. But then Roxanne Perez goes, fine. She tries to attack Natalya. Natalya attempted the sharpshooter, but Roxanne Perez escapes, and then they had a little tug of war for the title, and Roxanne Perez escapes with the championship. Separately arriving at the PC, Trick Williams and the Wolf Dogs, the tag team champions. The Wolf Dogs had their tag team title defense in a rematch against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And then Kelly Kincaid interviewed the challengers, and they said that if we can't win the tag team titles, we will no longer be a team. So, will that be inevitable? We'll find out. But then JCU was celebrating the 6-woman victory as, they were presented certificates by JCU, Kaylani Jordan and Fallon Henley. But then Thea Hale comes in and she was excited. And then JC Jane, Jasmine Nix ruined the whole deal by saying, Andre Chase was betting on you, you lost and everything else. And she had to bring up the past and she can't leave well enough alone. If I were Thea Hale, I would have punched JC Jane right in the face. Boom. That's what Thea Hale should have done. Punch JC Jane in the face and shut her up for good. And then it leads to a tag team match against with Kaylani Jordan and Fallon Henley against the team of Kiana James and Izzy Dame. And Kiana James and Izzy Dame won that matchup. Meanwhile, Javon Evans was cutting another promo to make it his debut, which is going to be next on the list. Meanwhile, OTM we're talking about them. They said he's all talk, and Script says he's going to prove himself. But then Damon Kemp and Miles Bull was talking to Charlie Dempsey. They were talking about Bloodsport with Josh Barnett and all. So I think he took part in that. And D'Angelo family interrupts No Quarter Catch crew. Saj Drew Gulak. Now, I want if you were kind of like, where's Drew Gulak? Well, he is accused by Ronda Rousey of actually being inappropriately touching her and he meant to, because he meant to shake Ronda Rousey's hand, and he accidentally, when he attempted to go shake her hand, he says that he accidentally grabbed at her sweatpants string. So I think since they're probably investigating that situation, Drew Gulak's off TV for a while. So the Angelo family says wants to get into it and keep running him out, but that's fine. Javon Evans went one-on-one with Scripps. Now, this is a heck of a matchup. This was a heck of a matchup. And they were high-flying all around. OTM and Jada Parker, they tried to get involved, but Javon Evans ended up picking up the upset victory over Scripps. Meanwhile, Kelly Kincaid kind of confronted Ridge Holland of what happened at Stand and Deliver, the kickoff show, when he nailed Joe Gacy in the back with a steel chair. Joe Gacy interrupts Holland and says, "Oh, it's okay," and all that. The LWO, mainly Walking Wild Cruz del Toro, confronted Ridge Holland about his facade, and then Ridge Holland went to go get out, and then Cruz wanted to go talk to him, and he got his hand slammed in the door, and it leads to a one-on-one matchup between Joaquin Wild and Ridge Holland next week. When the women's title was on the line, Roxanne Perez and when defending the title against the Boat, Natalya. And during that matchup, Lola Vice gets involved, attacking Natalya during the matchup while the referee was busy with Roxanne Perez, and that gives Roxanne Perez the victory over Natalya. In that match, she retained her title. The Wolf Dogs hype each other up, goofing around for that matchup. Vice explains her actions, why she attacked Natalya, but then Natalya was brawling with Vice. These two ladies, between the Hart family style of wrestling and the MMA style of wrestling, will be a heck of a matchup between those two once again. The No Quarter Catch crew, it seems like Demon Kemp and Miles Bourne took on the team of the D'Angelo family. That will be Shane Stacks Lorenzo and the Consigliere, Luca Crisafino, with Adriana Rizzo in their corner, and the D'Angelo family ended up picking up the victory. Meanwhile, Obafemi addresses the NXT universe and Stand and Deliver and how good he was at Stand and Deliver. But Ivar, of all people, showed up. And Ivar basically was challenging Obafemi to a title match. And then both men fought it out, and Ivar knocked out Obafemi and stood tall, holding the North American title. This ought to be a matchup. You're talking about big, meaty men slapping meat. Obafemi and Ivar walking up. That was really cool. Then Metaphor was talking about the biggest Mania weekend that he kicked off, and then Dijak interrupts Metaphor because, okay, that funny skit about me, which one of you did it? And Noam Dar says, "My you know what? You only get one chance, and that's it." And they walk up, but they're gonna fight. Noam Dar is gonna fight Dijak, and Dijak is gonna shut that boy up. Then and both teams, for the tag team title match, the Wolf Dogs and Axiom and Nathan Frazier were getting ready for their title match. Women's action, Brinley and Reese, who looks like a bigger version, a taller version of Thea Hale, went one-on-one with Jada Parker, and Jada Parker did pick up the victory. Anna Grace was talking to Sol Ruka about giving Gigi Dolan a makeover and all that, and at the end, and then was talking to Sol Ruka about it. Then Lola Vice interrupts them, and then Lola Vice was complaining to Sol Ruka about Natalya. And she said, "Hey, Natalya did beat you, but you did cost her the championship. You didn't expect that otherwise." So that's what happened. Then the NXT tag team titles were on the line. The Wolf Dogs against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. This was a matchup that was going to happen, a rematch, but in the end, though. But in the end, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the second time proves to be the charm. We have new NXT Tag Team Champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, but we are not done yet. The Final Testament and their entire group showed up, and the AOP came through the crowd attacking the Tag Team Champions. It seems like AOP wants to pick up where they left off. tried to be a dominant tag team once again. Then Trick Williams addresses the NXT Universe about Stand and Deliver. He says, now, my next move, to challenge the Mad Dragon for the Universal title. He asked Ilya Dragunov to come out, and that Ilya Dragunov came up with a huge victory over a former NXT champion in his own right, Shinsuke Nakamura. And here comes, and then Trick Williams challenged him for the championship. And originally, Dragunov said no. He wants to give a shot to the other superstars. But Trick Williams said, I understand you're a champion, you call shots and all, but I want to do whatever it takes to get that title. You want a title shot? I'll tell you what, 2 weeks, spring break-in. But here's the deal. You lose, you leave NXT. And he goes, if I lose that title, I don't belong here in NXT. I accept the challenge. So, they both shook hands on that deal. And then Carmelo Hayes attacks him. And then Carmelo Hayes comes over and says, you may not make it to spring break-in, someone challenging your butt to a matchup in a steel cage next week. And that is where we stand right now. So, what about it? What about it? I'll tell you what about it. About it, ride it. And NXT, we may see, and we don't know when Julia, we heard rumors that Julia just signed a contract with the WWE. And if that's the case, it'll be a matter of time since we'll see her on NXT. We will. And sign on with the WWE. It's only a matter of time when we see her on NXT. Ladies, good luck. I wouldn't be surprised she makes her debut in probably in the upcoming Women's North American Championship. Maybe. Who knows for sure. That is all the time we have on this episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 1334. Tomorrow will be halfway through the week, halfway through my vacation. And let's see, tomorrow we got the Joker's Wild. We'll play some Wild Wednesday. We got some AEW Dynamite to use up and to talk about as well. And I'm sure that they're going to have to AEW is going to have to level up if they have any chance of competing with the WWE after what the weekend the WWE just had. So we shall see what goes on. So that's all the time we have on the show. I will see you guys later. I'll catch you on the flip side on another episode. Until that new episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A big beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with O'Regan Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.